One thing I've known about Los Angeles is that this is a place where the celebrities are the extras in your life. So, for example, I was walking out of a thrifty drugstore with a female friend of mine, and here comes out Steven Tyler with a big ice cream cone. And he stares her in the eyes, and he's licking the cone very seductively. And it was kind of funny, and I'm glad she wasn't a girlfriend, because I think I would have been pissed, because I would have felt like I was being dismissed, but that's not the case. Other things, my wife Carol and I were at the movies standing in Westwood, and who would be right in front of us, but Ringo Starr at the concession stand. And she knows I'm like a huge Beatles fan. She said, say something, say something. What could you say to Ringo Starr that he hasn't heard a gazillion times before? So I opted to be quiet. But this story is about the day I was kidnapped by the Rolling Stones. Have you guys heard? Raise your hand if you've heard of them. Yeah, okay. I used to ride the 89 bus when I was in my early teens. I used to ride the 89 bus right past here, up to Hollywood Boulevard, get off of the Chinese Theater to satisfy my addiction of movies. And as I arrived, right across the street is the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. And there's the front entrance, and then there's a side entrance. At the side entrance, there was a collection at the time of about maybe 25 young girls. I thought, what the heck? So I went to watch the movie, and when I came back out, there was like 150 girls, and they were really excited. And I was thinking, wow, I wonder if my favorite group, the Beatles, is staying there. So I walked across the street, and I said, what's going on? He said, well, the Rolling Stones are going to be coming out here any minute now. I said, really? Yeah, really. So I thought, what the heck? I'm there. I may as well see the Rolling Stones. So I think I was one of 3 boys in the whole group, and I was a boy. I was not even really adolescent. And I got caught. The side door opens, and out come 4 of the 5 Rolling Stones. And I get caught between them and the car that's waiting for them. And the next thing you know, I end up in the back of the limousine with 4 Rolling Stones. True story. So they all look at me like, who's he? I said, I'm just some kid who was coming out of the movies. And they said, well, the hotel management asked us to leave so all the girls would finally go away. So the next thing you know, I'm taking a ride down the Sunset Strip with the Rolling Stones. We're just hanging out. I get to know them by name. They get to know me by name. And when the time comes to finally get back to the hotel, we drove down that same side street and there were no girls, but they insisted on taking us into the underground garage. In the underground garage, there was a freight elevator that went up to the only floor that was all Rolling Stones. And the only Rolling Stone that was not in the car was sitting on a bed playing his guitar. And when I'm on the floor with them, and I walked in and I said, "Oh, hi, I'm learning how to play the guitar." And he said, "Would you like a guitar pick?" I said, "I would love a guitar pick." So for many, many years, I had 2 other sort of close encounters with the Rolling Stones. One, the day Rubber Soul came out, I bought it at my favorite record store, and I stopped at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel, and at the lunch counter, the only other person in the whole place was Bill Wyman. So I go up to Bill Wyman with my Beatles album, and I said, "Hey, look what just came out today." And I sat next to him, had my cherry Coke, and I sat next to him, and he said, "Oh, that's been out in England for a while." And I said, "Oh, great." I said, "Would you mind signing it?" So I had the only, probably one-of-a-kind piece of memorabilia, a Beatles album autographed by the Rolling Stones. And then the last piece of the story was I finally became, as I got a little older, I began to appreciate the Rolling Stones more. And I went to the Hollywood Bowl concert when I was like 15 years old, maybe 16. And at the end of the concert, I got swept up into the crowd in the parking lot, and a policeman turns towards me and says, "Don't you ever try to take a policeman's hat." He clubs me. My head splits open. I have 17 stitches. I can probably show you the scar now. And so it had kind of a bittersweet ending, but that was my life with the Rolling Stones.